I think when we refer to Pirates, they say the defending champions, Orlando Pirates, like defending champions. Defending
Yeah,
champions.
look,
no?
I've defended it 8 times, guys. Like, it's not a new thing. I won it 8 times in a row. Look, it's not a new thing for me.
Mutau, Mudiva. That tells you your game, man. Like, if your fullbacks are having a fantastic game, then that tells you everything that you need to know about what happened on the day. I think Sundowns just didn't gel well. Oh, by the way, this is not a Sundowns show. I know we're speaking about Sundowns.
But it's just a typical English midfielder, like hardworking midfielder, you know. So I mean, I guess maybe hard work is expensive these days. Because I mean,
I'll be honest, nah. Like, as a rival fan and as an Arsenal fan, thank you, Man City. Thank you, Man City, for buying Elliott, and we went and bought Bruno Guimaraes. Thank you, man.
The dust has settled at FNB Stadium after the Chiefs and Sundowns showdown. Two very different teams, two very different ambitions, and 90 minutes that gave us plenty to talk about. But who came out of this game looking stronger? I'm Kadisha Mismabena with all due respect, and welcome to 451. But today, I'm not alone. I'm with 4 football fanatics, 4 football diehards. My brothers over here, Tebang and Silo, and behind the cameras, we've got Abo Bafo. Gentlemen, kindly introduce yourselves.
Thanks, Kadisha, for the amazing introduction. It's your co-host with the most, Tebang Ramatsuma, and a huge welcome to our viewers online. I'm just grateful to be on this panel.
yeah. Good day, everyone. Thank you, Kadisha, for the great introduction. Like she said, my name is Silo Ledwawa, the co-host of this wonderful panel, and yeah, we can't wait to dive into the game. Yeah.
Awesome. So we all watched the Kaizer Chiefs and Sundowns match together. So can you guys kindly give us a recap on the match? What was going on, and what are your opinions of the match that we just watched?
Look, I'm a Pirates fan, so I'm happy with the results, first and foremost. But look, I think, it's the thing with South African football, especially like with these big games. I never really expect like a lot of goals going into it, but I did understand that, look, for Chiefs, this is probably like a good results for them. As much as they fielded it was a back 3, right, or a back 5.
Yeah.
A back 5. They fielded a back 5, 5-3-2, and they were quite defensive. But look, like I said, I understand for Chiefs. Like, Chiefs, not saying that they were not going in it to win the game, but they got the results that worked out in their favor. And I believe that Sundowns actually is more disappointed with the results. Sundowns fans, when I came into this game, they were telling me they're gonna win. Get Chiefs, get Chiefs, they were telling me that. So I don't know. Scalo, Lisanda one.
Yeah, look, I think in terms of the outcome of the game, Kaizer Chiefs should be the team that is more disappointed. And the reason why I would say that is that they're playing at home, and you are 6 points, you're on top of the table. You should be more ambitious in terms of trying to stretch the lead on top of the table. And the way they approached the game, they didn't come there to win. They were more afraid of losing to Mamelodi Sundowns. And I feel that was their drawback, because I mean, the last 9 years have proved that Sundowns is not a strong starter to the league. They always start very, very slow. And I feel like Kaizer Chiefs had an opportunity today to give Sundowns a few challenges. You understand? And I feel like their setup, the 5-3-2, did not work for them in terms of their attacking intent. Defensively, yes, they were strong. And like, maybe to play a devil's advocate, you would say maybe Da Cruz is still new in the job. He still hasn't maybe settled in terms of tactically what he wants to impose.
Yeah.
So the safest way was, in fact, to avoid being beaten, to maybe boost the morale of the team. So yeah, as a Sundowns fan, I would say I'm quite disappointed that we couldn't necessarily build that good rhythm from the start of the match. I started seeing some exciting patterns towards the end of the game, where the intensity was rising. We're throwing numbers into the box. We're combining a bit. But overall, I feel like it was a fair game. Sundowns didn't give enough to get something out of the game. And I feel like, obviously, Kaizer Chiefs were just happy to not be beaten by Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
So right now, I just want us to get into like individual players or who you guys were watching. Who caught your eye in this match?
Look, let me start from a Chiefs point of view, and then I can maybe speak on Sundowns afterwards. But for Chiefs, I think like Mtetwa, like yeah, I was quite surprised, you know, when I saw that layout, that lineup that they laid out. I was expecting maybe, and look, I'm not downplaying Philly's Man of the Match award. It was well deserved. I guess to a certain extent, it was well deserved. He did score after all. You know, with these awards, like the person who scores usually gets the award. You know, so he did score, and to be fair, he did have an amazing game in regard, like where he wasn't really scared. He was taking on defenders. He was doing a lot. But in Teto, for me, like that was a big surprise. Like he's not your most skillful CDM. He's not your most like yeah, he's not your most like ball playing defensive midfielder, deep lying playing maker. Like he's not really that for you, know. But at the end of the day, when you field a defensive midfielder, like what do you want? You want someone that's going to protect the back three or the back five. And that's what he did. He did that very well today. And I think that was also part of the reason why Sundowns were unable to play the game that they wanted to play. Mtetwa, and also that shift that Maue Lindlove as well, that they put in that three-man midfield, as much as they're not very attacking, but they really frustrated Sundowns. And that's why I'm saying that for me, Mtetwa, he played a very, very good game. And I think, yeah, a credit to him. You know, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. I was actually expecting Mabuwe to play, you know, to be my man of the match from the Chiefs side of things. But yeah, he played well. And then from Sundowns, ish, I don't know, man. Hey, I don't know. I don't know. Like, you know, I only say I don't know. Like I can't, like I watched the game today, right? But there wasn't like, okay, maybe, and that's the thing, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know, because for me, if I tell you who my man of the match was from Sundowns or the player that caught my eye, I'd say the two fullbacks, Mudau over Mudiba. That tells you your game, man. Like if your fullbacks are having a fantastic game, then that tells you everything that you need to know about what happened on the day. I think Sundowns just didn't gel well. It just wasn't moving the ball quick enough. And that's why I'm saying that for me, with Sundowns, it wasn't a good performance, to be honest. Like, I don't feel like it was a good performance at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Look, I would have to agree with Sepang on both on his take on both the sides and how they lined up today. With Kaizer Chiefs, I felt, look, defensively that was a masterclass.
Yeah.
With the three guys in the middle, those are guys that are known for their tenacity, you know, their aggression, their willingness to chase the ball. And I feel like you look at Mabue, even from his time at Maritzburg United to Mamelodi Sundowns, he's always been that player. You look at Ndlovu, from his time at Maritzburg to Orlando Pirates, he has always been that player with tenacity, a player that will run for the entire 90 minutes. And I think they put in a good shift. What I was hoping for, obviously, especially from that back five, is to see maybe a little bit of overlapping from the wing backs to cause Sundowns a bit of problems, because whenever they did have the ball, they didn't really look as dangerous as they should be on the counter attack. Even the goal that they scored, it was basically a gift from Johannes. But yeah, look, on the Kaizer Chiefs side, tactically, defensive wise, I feel as if they were on par. They got it right. They got that lucky goal that put them ahead. Unfortunately, they couldn't defend it. And on the Sundowns' point of view, look, I've watched Sundowns long enough to know that our first 10 games, we are quite slow. Because I mean it's built within our model. Sundowns is a possession team, and they are introducing new players like Bomukwena and these other young guys that are coming from the DDC. You'll always find a situation where you need to build some sort of rhythm. some sort of rhythm because of possession play. There's a lot of movements, there's a lot of rotations, etc. And when you're introducing the new players into the squad,
not so easy.
It's not so easy to get them
Yeah.
to understand the certain movement, because you'd see certain moments where someone like Muda would be on the ball. You would see someone like Mailula making a run, or whenever a senior player or the mainstay of the team, someone from the mainstay of the team, the senior guys have the ball, you'll see other senior players making certain movements, and then the young guys would be just maybe running around with not much of a direction. And I feel that is more based on how the team has played together. You look at someone like Cassius. When Mudau has a ball, I think there was a moment around the 60th minute, Mudau holds the ball, cuts in, and then Cassius makes a run where he was caught offside. I feel like that comes from that gelling, them playing together, all those other
takes
years.
time, man.
It takes time to get into that rhythm.
time.
And I feel like I will take the point as a Sundowns fan. I'll take the point.
Serious?
And yeah, I'll take the point.
Serious?
I'll take the point considering obviously the points, all of the points that I've mentioned. I'll take the point. And I feel, Lore, like I said, like Peter Musiman once said, I don't need to beat Kaizer Chiefs to win the league. You understand what I'm saying? We don't really need to beat Kaizer Chiefs to win the league. We just have to go to Golden Arrows, take 3 points. I have to go to Amazulu, take 3 points. I have to go to Stellenbosch, take 3 points. That's the only way we're going to win the league, yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough, I hear you.
I feel like the Sundowns' momentum changed after Chiefs scored.
Yeah, look, that's what I was hoping for, and I discussed it with Sepang during the game, that I felt like as much as we are moving the ball, yes, we're keeping possession, the tempo was just too low. Yeah, and then I feel, and it's the same thing that happened during the week where we had to
Get too late.
get two late goals to secure a winner. I feel as if before the other team leads, TS Galaxy were in control. We scored the first goal, they equalized, we're still relaxed, moving the ball a bit slow. And then all of a sudden, with a few minutes to go, TS Galaxy scores the second goal. All of a sudden now, the guys are forced to raise their tempo because they're about to lose. And I feel like we don't need to be having that kind of mentality. We need to get into the pitch. First minute, we go in like a house on fire. Yes, you understand, throw in the kitchen sink if you have to. And I feel like that's how we are going to win this league this season, because I have a feeling that it's going to be quite competitive. Yeah, if we are going to win the league, because I feel like the league this season is quite competitive, and we need to be on our A game. You understand? Look, in terms of quality, in terms of squad depth, we have the biggest squad depth. We have the biggest quality. It's just that it's about the personalities. We have a few young guys, and I'm really, really hoping that those guys have the personalities to play for Mamelodi Sundowns. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also, just to answer your question on the momentum of Sundowns, as much as you do raise the point of you guys not raising the tempo within the second half and after that goal, but the best football I feel that Sundowns played today was like the last 25 minutes. And I don't blame you guys. Like, you're a coach, you're Cardoso, you set your 4-3-3, you set the one thing about Sundowns, you know how they're going to play, and you know they're going to stick to their identity. They're going to stick to what they believe in when they play. So that was very easy to predict that how Sundowns is going to play today. What surprised me was Chiefs when they came into the game with a back five. So with that being said, I mean, Chiefs came in with a back five. Sundowns, you're now fielding your team. And as much as, like these, the lineups get like announced, I think an hour before, and probably like the coaches are doing it. They didn't know, right? Like eventually, like you check online and whatnot. But you can't now change the way you approach the game because you're seeing that, okay, look, Chiefs is playing with a back five and whatnot. So that's why, look, the first 45 minutes, yeah, you guys didn't play that well. Yes, you kept the ball, but it was a very frustrating 45 minutes. Second half came, I felt like that's where Sundowns they started implementing some of the solutions that you could see from the coach. Like, okay, now you guys are trying to be a bit more vertical. You're not trying to penetrate too much from the wide ends. And if you're penetrating from the wide ends, let's put in more crosses. And that's how you got that goal with Cassius as well. It was a cross. Like, I think the whole game you weren't crossing. There was a lot that you're not doing in the first half. So within the second half, the tempo did like increase a little bit. It did get better, but it's just like I said, you guys had your best 25 minutes towards the end of the game. And I don't blame Sundowns because, like I said, Chiefs came into this game like very yeah, very defensive, and you guys didn't prepare for that, or you didn't expect that. So, look, but hey, man, I still feel like you guys played up. You didn't play well.
Yeah, look,
I still feel like you didn't play well.
Teams come to play against Mamelodi Sundowns with a defensive mindset.
Come again?
I mean, isn't it a case that Sundowns, whenever they play whichever team they are playing within the league, they face a defensive.
That's a tough question, eh?
look, but
That's a
it's
tough question.
I honestly don't think there's any team that goes to face Mamelodi Sundowns heads on. Like we're going to go for
Pound for
yeah,
pound.
you can't. Look, you can't. I mean, Orlando Pirates, they learned it the hard way last season. Congratulations to them at the end. They won the league. But then when they faced us in the second leg at Orlando, was it at FNB instead? We played our football, the slow passing, etc. We got the first goal. Pirates thought they were going to press Sundowns. They tried to press us within 2 minutes to get the second goal. You will get hurt when you go to Sundowns and you want to go there and want to be aggressive, you want to press high. You're always going to get hurt. And I don't blame Kaizer Chiefs as much, but I just thought they could have just taken a bit more risks, you understand?
More risks.
Yeah, I feel
mean,
like they could have taken more risks.
The whole game, they only had like what, 5 or 4 shots?
Yeah.
They barely had any shots, and they barely like entered that box. It was just that one moment of play where they intercepted and managed to get the goal.
Yeah, and to add to that, like Sundowns at this moment in time, I will not lie to you, we are sitting ducks in defense, especially with the form that Ronwen Williams has been showing. It has been 3 games, he's already conceded 5 goals. So I thought Kaizer Chiefs would come in a bit more brave because they know Ronwen Williams. If actually, to be honest, on the Ronwen Williams issue, if Sundowns are to be successful this season, they might need to get a goalkeeper between now and the 22nd of September.
Oh, by the way, this is not a Sundown show. I know we're speaking about Sundowns, but a Sundown show.
I'm just really passionate about the team. Just really passionate about the people.
This will be you once Pirates is playing. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like I want us to get to the segment where we start speaking about,
About Pirates. I'm
start
sure.
speaking
No,
about
but
Arsenal and all that
Obviously,
stuff.
without obviously maybe discussing too much about Sundowns, I feel this season it's all about how the coach uses the players. And it's all about how quick the young new players can adapt to the team so that they can contribute. Because Sundowns does have a starting 11. Sundowns starting 11 is the 11 that started the final. That's our key. Those are our key players.
Yeah.
But I feel like obviously the rotation players are going to be the ones that are going to be key, because I don't see a Pirates struggling with rotation, because I don't see them going too deep into the CAF Champions League like we are hoping to. And
what?
but that's how you won the
fine.
league last
Let
season.
him hate,
That's how you won the league last season.
Let him hate.
That's how.
fine.
Look, but if you are being
Mind you, this league we're talking about right now, Orlando Pirates is the defending champions.
yes, and
We can't
Yeah,
be too,
and
we
another
can't be
thing-
too worried about Mamelodi Sundowns.
And another thing.
my point.
Another thing. When we refer to Pirates, they say the defending champions,
champions.
Orlando Pirates, like
Orlando
defending
Pirates,
champions.
Defending champions.
Defending
yeah,
champions.
look,
once won.
I've defended it 8 times, guys. Like, it's not a new thing. I won it 8 times in a row. Look, it's not a new thing for me. You understand? So the point I'm just trying to make is that Orlando Pirates was able to win the league because they were not involved in CAF.
Yeah.
They didn't have squad issues. They didn't have squad issues. Where Sundowns lacked last season,
Aye.
and how we almost lost the league the season before that, was the rotation. One thing Peter Msiman was really good at, one thing the 3 coaches were good at, was the rotation.
But Pretoria actually reminds me of the big 3 like clubs in South Africa. There's 0, there's 1, then there's 2. 0 and 2, So the zeros, they know themselves, but I don't want to,
You don't want to go too deep into
I don't
that.
want to go too deep into it. They know themselves. Mara, keep it to, keep it rara.
0-1-2.
0 and 2.
So from the 9 players that have been signed by Orlando Pirates, which one of them do you think are going to be improving the game from what they're currently playing? Who will take them to stardom? Who will be the star players?
Look, I think, and I mentioned it before, that young kid, the fullback, Neo Rapo, I think is very promising. I like him. He's very exciting going forward. And that's the thing, I think with Pirates as well, and that's one of the reasons why we had to start playing Dion Hotto at fullback. It's because, we needed that attacking threat from fullback as well. So Neo Rapo, as much as he's still young, he's 20 years old, I feel like let's give him time, but he is going to prove his worth. I do believe he's going to prove his worth. And then from the other 9, the striker from Norway, man, Sebastian Pedersen, yeah.
Demand has 51 goals in his previous 117 matches.
Yeah, the stats are promising, and sometimes I just feel like we just need to trust Koza and his team when they sign players from abroad. Hey, stats are like a bikini. They don't
For a striker.
They don't. I get you, but stats are like a bikini. They don't reveal the
You're
full.
talking assists and chances.
No,
Goals.
do you know why I'm saying that? And look, I love the player, and I love him because I understand his strengths. But Victor Gyökeres as well, like, you see, Victor Gyökeres came into this Arsenal side with I don't know how many goals he scored for Sporting. Like, he scored so many goals for Sporting, and then he came into our side, and then
He was the top scorer of the team.
you're making it difficult. But
But
it is difficult.
I think
Stats bias, but
yeah, I think from your
stats
side,
bias.
I think to look at it contextually, it will be an issue of, yes, the numbers, especially with Victor Gyökeres. Yes, he scored goals every now and then, but how does he fit to Arsenal?
system.
He just couldn't fit into the system. That's why you find that the Champions League final, they started with Havertz instead of him.
Not a player.
It's not, you understand? So even if you can bring the numbers, but if you do not contribute to the team's game model, it doesn't help much.
Vinicius Junior coming to Arsenal was going to be at Arsenal. Don't you think Arteta would change the playing style to suit Vinicius Junior?
Well, I mean, Vinicius Junior,
Or Mbappe, a player of Mbappe's caliber.
but those players are special.
So you see, with Victor Gyökeres, it's not a thing of can he score goals.
He can.
He can.
He can score goals, but Arteta, he had to fit to Arteta's playing style. Not that Arteta would build around Victor.
Yeah,
Gyökeres.
true.
Yeah.
And that's what I was saying. Like with Victor Gyökeres, like, I like him because I understand that's sort of striker that he is. But sometimes, like, you can be a misfit in an already like mature system. That's the thing. So, but look, I'm saying Sebastian Pedersen. Let's just see how he feeds into this Pirates team. Let's just see how he helps us. I think if anything, Pirates needs goals. We need goals. Like and we need goals. Like, we really need goals.
But you have
We need goals.
Mbutuma.
Yeah, we have him.
What about him? Do you feel like Mbutuma makes way for Pedersen to be the starting number 9 for you guys? Because, I mean, if we are being honest, Mbutuma, Mahopa, you have 2 similar strikers. And you really, really need someone that's going to get in there and be clinical in the box. So Fatuma Basa was the best finisher for you guys before he left. And you need to have someone that can be a good finisher to replace the goals that would come probably from Rayleigh and actually bring the goals that are supposed to be coming in from a striker or from a Orlando Pirates perspective. Yeah.
Look, let's give it time. Like, I don't want to say too much because Mbutuma as well. I'm a very patient guy, by the way. I'm patient with him, and he's a good player. Like, he's a good player. Of course, you're speaking about having that striker who's very clinical and whatnot. But look, man, the season just started, bro. It just started. Like, you expect Mans to be on how many goals by now? Like, it just started. Like, let's ease into the season, and then we'll start to speak about these things. So that's why I'm saying that I'm looking forward to Sebastian to see what he can offer to the team. Mahopa, when I say see, obviously, Mbutuma, So let's just see what that 3 strike force can do for us within the season. But I do feel like this Pirates side does need more goals. Like we need goals. And quite often I see us playing well, and sometimes we get into the match and we're looking for late goals in the 80th minute, 90th minute. We haven't wrapped up the game, and that's a big concern for us. And if we're going to defend the league this season, we need to wrap up games a lot quicker. By the 60th minute, by the 50th minute, we need to have wrapped up that game. But it's not so easy in the PSL, because PSL it's not a league known for many goals as well. So we'll see. But I'm excited for those 2 signings. The other signings that Pirates brought in, look, I'm not too familiar with them. I'm not too familiar. But another thing is we're the defending champions. Like, you can't just buy a whole new squad and replace the starting 11. So from that starting 11, you need to like replace certain cogs in the system, like certain cogs in the system. We're not replacing the whole system. So yeah, look, I think from those 9, the 2 that I mentioned, they will probably, have an impact. The other 7, I'd love to see the impact that they have. So let's give it time. Let's give it time. But yeah, I'm happy. But I do think Chiefs, on the other hand, I feel like they had a great window. Yeah, I could see that they're stronger this season. They're more confident, like they're a stronger team this season. And then I look at Sundowns, same problem with Pirates. Like, you can't just bring in a squad overhaul. You need to bring in players as needed, as a needs analysis sort of thing. So, I mean, you guys only signed 4 players. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, look, I mean, in terms of the window for Mamelodi Sundowns, Sundowns has squad depth. I don't feel like we needed to buy a lot of players. We just needed to just replace with quality. You understand? Quality over quantity. We have the depth, but obviously, when it comes to Orlando Pirates, like you said, the 9 players will have to contribute somewhere, somehow. I don't know whether they'll be playing, obviously, the Nedbank Cup, the Black Label Cup, those MTN 8s, just to assist the first team to keep more fresh legs into the team and give more quality on the rotation. Yeah.
The transfer window has gone absolutely crazy. Big names, massive numbers, and very interesting things that are happening. The question is, which tab at the moment has won the transfer window so far? We'll be breaking down the Premier League transfers, the biggest winners, the biggest questions, and of course, whether or not the huge price tags are actually justified. We've got Chelsea spending 117 million euros on Morgan Rogers. Man City bringing in Elliot Anderson, 116 million euros, and a massive statement by Tottenham with Sandro Tonali with 100 million. But is spending big the same as building well?
Yeah. Look, Tottenham are the winners of this market so far.
They had to.
Yeah.
They had to, ne?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to, but no, Tottenham for me, bro.
Yeah, same.
Tottenham.
I would say Tottenham as well. I feel a lot of teams now are starting to adapt to what Man United was successful with last season, and is signing Premier League proven players. And that's why you see now the big 6, they are raiding all of those small clubs. They are raiding them. Newcastle is being raided. West Ham was raided. You understand? So no team is safe. And the Premier League now, the big 6 are really, really showing their muscle in terms of getting players, because they know they have that community, that players do have the desire to want to play for them.
And Tottenham did really, really well. I was very surprised, and I'm not sure it's because Daniel Levy, he left, right?
Yeah, he left.
I'm not sure it's because he left and how the team's just functioning properly or what, but they did well.
I mean, with Daniel Levy, I feel like obviously it's easier for the new chairman to go out and buy players.
How so?
Look, Daniel Levy deserves a lot of credit for what he's done for Tottenham, the new stadium. That new stadium for Tottenham, it has to be all on Daniel Levy's work on the market. I feel like obviously it's easier for the new chairman to look successful when compared to Daniel Levy now, because obviously he's learning from Levy's mistake. But we cannot forget about Levy's successes. You look at the likes of Kyle Walker, you look at the likes of Bo Gareth Bale, you look at the likes of Harry Kane, talking about Dele Alli, Luka Modric, his wisdom in the market to recruit those, Song Heung-min, his wisdom in the market to recruit those young players that turn into gems. But however, at some point that starts backfiring if those players don't become as special as you hope. And the biggest mistake that they have done in the past 2-3 years was not buying ready players. They put all of their cards on a young potential that just couldn't prove themselves. And I feel for the new chairman, it become easier for him to say, okay, the past mistake, now let's buy the proven ones. And that's why you'd feel as if it's easier to demonize Levy, but come on, that guy built the stadium.
I feel like for Tottenham on this transfer window, I feel pity for Tonali. He could have moved to a Champions League team.
Yeah.
The money, bro.
Sorry?
The money. That guy's like, I don't know how much? 300 and something thousand.
Manchester United would have paid him this
Yeah,
amount.
I think
They wanted him.
Did you guys want to?
Lord Tillemans, yeah, wanted him.
Was it solid links? Was it like solid links? Oh, sorry.
Before the season even finished, Tonali was a target for almost every club.
Yeah.
Going to Tottenham, for me, it just feels like, they are fixing something that's already broken. Getting new players is not a guarantee that it will work. The other teams that were mooring them throughout the season have beefed up as well.
Yeah.
They are starting from scratch. Arsenal, Man U, Man City, and the likes, they are building from something that already works. My point is, Tonali could have joined a well-established team, and because at Tottenham, there's a lot of expectations from him. The team is struggling. There's all eyes are on him because it's a big amount that was paid.
Yeah.
He's not a goal scorer.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for midfield. Eh?
You understand what I'm saying?
A lot.
So
yeah.
there's not much that's going to change by him being there.
But they still have a very. I'll tell you something. As much as like you feel like yes, Tonali could have joined another club and he could have joined a bigger club. He could have played Champions League football, blah blah blah, all of that. But if you look at the Tottenham squad, I feel like last season they were impacted a lot by injuries. Like that team, I think if you put that team and they're fully fit, you've got James Maddison, you've got Kulusevski, you've got Mohamed Kudus, Brennan Johnson's he left now, but you've got Richarlison. Like they have players, they have players. They were just unfortunate. The Tonali deal, I feel like what really moved the block or the cylinder was the money. Like what Tottenham was willing to pay versus what other clubs were willing to pay was not the same. Tottenham were willing to go above and beyond what other clubs were willing to offer. It's the exact same situation with Morgan Rogers and Arsenal and Chelsea. Arsenal wanted Rogers. We wanted him. Like that's a player we wanted. Chelsea came in with 117. I mean, are we gonna? They gave us a chance to match that, but are we gonna match that? Like sometimes you also need to weigh that. Okay, look, this is getting out of hand. Are we really gonna enter this bidding war? Because bidding wars, I can tell you, they are not nice. Quite often, the team that wins the bidding war, I always feel like they
lost.
They
were the
lost.
suckers.
They were the suckers, because they were the suckers because also that player, like how many players have actually performed well after a huge bidding war has taken place? So that pressure as well, like those price tags, and I don't even know but I love Morgan Rogers, by the way. Sometimes, but we'll see. I love him, but sometimes players, when they go into certain clubs, they just
don't work out.
They just don't work out, and I hope that's not the same with him at Chelsea, because I mean, to be honest, he's the original ice cold, so he needs to take his chain back.
Snatch his chain back.
Snatch his chain back.
Yeah.
So yeah, but Tottenham, they did well. Tonali, man, that's business, bro.
Do you think signing him will change the midfield?
Yeah, definitely. I think definitely, but it'll change it if he's available, if he's not injured.
Or it's not banned.
You think that thing is still going on?
Nobody is a gambler, so anytime is tea time for him.
It just was that. But no, the English media kind of hypes up wherever they want to hype up, to a point where they actually thought Rogers was better than Jude Bellingham. I mean, I watched that guy play. He's not a clinical midfielder. He's what you're saying, free-flowing football, just be creative, go and do whatever. And that's a win. I highly doubt that he's the perfect player.
Can I be honest? And I'm not dismissing everything you said. I I agree. Like the fee was it's a lot. Is he worth that much? I agree that maybe he's not in his prime, but Brendan Rodgers. I mean, Rodgers. Rodgers is a he's a proper baller. Like he's a proper baller, and I think another thing is when it comes to Rodgers. And I'm sorry to say this, but if you're a United fan and you want to speak on Rodgers, I'm not going to take your opinion that seriously because I know it's coming from pain. When that guy scored that hat trick against you guys last season,
A hat trick.
was it a hat trick?
It was a brace, not a hat
Was it a
trick.
brace?
Yeah.
Okay, but still, bro, like that was
Yeah, is that 2-1 win?
Morgan Rodgers showed you guys flames, bro.
Yeah. So, look, I mean, well, to go back to Tottenham and the question that I was asked in terms of Tonali, Tonali went to the highest bidder. United wanted Tonali. He was one of our key targets, but Newcastle priced him out of a deal. It was one thing that you have to understand about Newcastle. They're under pressure with PSR. So each and every sale is important for them. So
matters.
they make sure that they get the most out of a player. The way they sold Gordon to Barcelona, the way they sold Isak, the way they sold Guamaresh now, they are under pressure to sell players and they're getting the most out of it. And I feel like Tottenham were that one team that was willing to pay any price. That also goes to Matthias Fernandes as well. West Ham United wanted Fernandes from West Ham. They valued him at 85. We were willing to pay 70, 75. We just couldn't get that deal over the line because Tottenham have the intent. They know what they're doing and what they are coming from. After 2 consecutive 17th place finishes, I think they needed to make a statement in the market. And obviously they followed the United way, buying Premier League proven players to try and change their fate. And hopefully it might go the same way it went for United. Obviously, as a result, it means if Tottenham are going to bounce back into the top 4, someone needs to fall out, for instance, which is kind of obviously the reality of the top 6. When someone is doing well, it affects someone else. Someone needs to drop out of the top 4.
Yeah.
So, do you think that the moves that Tottenham is currently making are going to, or make them rather genuine title contenders?
Well, I think the main aim for them would be stabilizing. After finishing 17th twice, the title is the last thing on your mind. So you want to stabilize the club in terms of results because their results are just not consistent enough for them to compete at a high level. It's more about setting, obviously, that base before they can go to thinking about winning the league. So having the base, but the base not being the ceiling entirely, but obviously it does bode well for Tottenham that they're starting to spend money. And if everything goes well this season, next season it's all about maybe building on top of that. That's when maybe they can start having that conversation around trying to win the title.
Yeah. Yeah, look, I think it's a bit of a stretch to think that they want to compete for the league at this point, but I think they should try to get top 4 at the very least, or top 5 now because of Arsenal helping the Premier League get a 5th spot in the Champions League. No, it's true, bro. It's facts. Like, is it not facts? Like we helped the 5th team to qualify for the UCL, so they should try to get top 5. Look, we know De Zerbi's football, very attractive. Can he do it with the players that he has? If fit, yes, they can. If not, then yeah, he's just going to be in another, roller coaster season where, it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad.
Let's go over to Man City. So, 116 million euros for Elliot Anderson. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think Enzo Maresca sees in Anderson?
Oh, yeah.
Well, in terms of the amount, man, that's
it's a lot of money,
I don't think he has done enough to be worth that much. Yeah, but he's just a typical English midfielder, hardworking midfielder, So I mean, I guess maybe hard work is expensive these days. Because I mean, that means because I'm gonna ask you one question: if if Anderson is worth 116, how much would have Paul Scholes been? Bro. How much would have Cannavaro, who's this, Giggs would have been,
much
James Milner?
those type of players
Those type of players. Because
Yeah.
look, James Milner, what's the difference between James Milner and Anderson? At least Milner, we knew he knew how to bend the ball. What's that one standard quality of that guy? And he takes good penalties. He knows how to cross. He has qualities that stand out. But what is the standout quality here? Yeah, Anderson. Look, besides from the hard work, I just feel like he's overrated. A typical English player.
Look, I'll be honest with you. Like he's a good player, bro. He's a good player, and I have no doubt that he's gonna slot into the City side, play well, do the job that maybe. Like, how can I put it? I feel like he's a Declan Rice, but without necessarily like the engine, like without necessarily the engine,
Is this like a replacement signing or a long-term project?
Well, I mean, for me, I feel
Yeah, it's 23.
I feel when it comes to City, and the reason why I would feel obviously Maresca did not have too much of a say in the signing of Anderson, is that City, they sign players based on the model that they've decided for themselves. Yeah, through the likes of Bochiki, Chiki Barikistan has a huge say in who they sign based on the game model that they have decided at Man City they want to play. And in terms of obviously the news are surrounding Rodri wanting to leave and going back to Spain, I don't necessarily see Anderson being that pivot. I don't think if Maresca will continue to play more or less that possession-based game, I don't think he'll be the pivot that will be the one deep line playmaker or whatever the case may be. I don't think he has those particular qualities. He's more of a box-to-box. And if you ask me, City has gotten rid of Tijani Renders. I don't think there's anything that Anderson can bring more to the table that Tijani Renders wasn't already providing, because there's not really much of a special quality that those players are giving. You understand? So in terms of a like-for-like replacement, I don't think so. Probably maybe a box-to-box central midfielder. Maybe
Can I say
on
something
Alonso.
on Elliot?
Yeah.
Like, as much as Elliot is not like your ball possession type of player, your tiki-taka, he keeps the tempo moving, your Thiago Alcantara, he's a shin kicker, bro. Like, and I think that's something that City was struggling with last season. Like, they were unable to deal with the transitions that they're getting from opposition teams, because City last season, they were not solid when it came to the defense. Teams are running through their midfield. So I think that's why they wanted to get Elliot in. They wanted to stabilize in that regard, that, look, we need a more defensive-minded midfielder who can also who also has some quality on the ball. Because as much as Anderson is now, he's not your most technically gifted player, but he does have the quality to, I've won the ball, I'll play, the pass, maybe I'll play a safe pass, I'll play a back pass, or I don't know about beating players one-on-one, but he that's what I feel like they signed him for, to just clean up that midfield, to bring some discipline in the midfield, and to give them some more stability. I think City doesn't really have a problem with keeping position. Like, keeping position, it's a team thing. It's not an individual thing. As much as, yes, but it's a team thing. So as long as the team is there around him, he will be able to slot in. It's just the fact that they just had certain problems. But I don't know. I don't think that's a problem that where they have to pay that much money to solve. Like, yes, it's a problem, but there's problems that you have in the household. Yeah, exactly. Like, I understand if that's a goal scoring problem, then yes, you're gonna go and pay as much money for that striker. But for the role that he's gonna come into for, I don't know. It's a bit tough to justify. I'll be honest, nah. Like, as a rival fan and as an Arsenal fan, thank you, Man City. Thank you, Man City, for buying Elliot, and we went and bought Bruno Guimaraes. Thank you, man. That's going to make a big difference. Bruno Guimaraes, I feel like that's who they should have bought as well.
Yeah.
Like they should have bought a
Yeah.
Bruno Guimaraes, but
He's the one that will bring that tenacity.
that they should
That
have
tenacity, you get it from Kwamaresh
exactly.
more
So
than.
that's why I'm
yeah.
happy, bro. I'm happy.
With quality as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like that signing for me is probably what. Look, I think when we had Granit Xhaka, we never really adequately replaced him. We got Xhaka. I mean, we sold Xhaka. We bought Kai Havertz. He ended up playing a different role. We bought Mikel Merino. He ended up playing a different role. We bought Zubimendi. Zubimendi is something else, but yeah, we bought Zubimendi. He ended up playing a
He knows what I think about Zubimendi. He knows what I think about Zubimendi.
Anyway, I was saying we got Zubimendi. He ended up playing a different role. At some point, I was banking on Sambi Lokonga. He ended up playing a different.
Hey, those projects fail. So midfield, there are a lot of failed projects. Some midfield go Arsenal, yeah.
You see, so like with Bruno, I feel like this is a mistake that we're finally fixing after, many years of not replacing Granit Xhaka. And yeah, I'm glad he's here, man. I think he's going to complete our midfield. And look, it's very hard to improve a squad that's already so good.
Yeah.
But for the money that we're paying for him, that's the highest money that's ever gone for a player of that age as a midfielder as well. So it's very good business from Newcastle. But oh man, we signed a baller, bro. We signed a top player. I can't wait to see him play. And yeah, and funny enough, I used to not like him that much because
he was playing for the other
he was
team.
playing for the other team,
Yeah.
and what he was doing, like
I
very
also,
fair, man.
I won't lie to you, I didn't like Bruno, I didn't like Tonali. And not because they are bad players, because they are players that make your team uncomfortable whenever you're playing against Newcastle United. And Newcastle United without those two, they look very toothless.
Yeah.
And seeing that they've lost both of those players, Tonali and Guimaraes, yeah, look, it's going to be tough for them, but it's a good addition. Yeah, but it's a good addition for Arsenal. And yeah, man.
Yeah, for Arsenal.
Yeah, for the title favorites.
Ma'am, can you please get to the real teams? I mean, we've been talking.
The real team.
Yeah.
The real teams. The real teams. I was confused, bro. Like, I was so confused.
So the real teams, obviously there's been signings. There's Andre, there's Yuri, there's Rasmus. Ballers.
Telemans.
No.
Telemans.
Sure.
Do we need to speak more about that guy?
Yeah, well, sure. When it comes to Yuri Tillemans, man, look, when the news first broke, I will lie to you. I wasn't that excited. I mean, you are the witness. I wasn't that excited, but those news started growing onto me as days went, and I started remembering what kind of a player he is. And the reason why I was disappointed, I was hoping for a marquee signing, us spending 80 million for someone, and then, you understand those statements, signings. And I feel like
just forget about it.
I just feel like Yuri Tillemans at this moment in time.
Forget about it, bro.
I just feel like Yuri Tillemans at this moment in time, he's the guy that we need. Manchester United has struggled a lot with having a midfield ever since Carrick. United has never had a midfield that can dictate the play. Yeah, the pace of the game, and I feel like Yuri Tillemans is that type of player that can take a ball from defense, punch it into Bruno, and all of a sudden we are
Goals as well.
yeah, and he can score goals.
Are you guys?
You understand? He's a
can I
good
ask
passer.
something? Are you guys not too concerned about how slow your midfield is? Like, I mean, I'm just thinking that let's say you field Bruno, Mainu, and Tillemans. Do you have enough legs to keep up with the transitions? The engine problem. You don't have that engine. You don't have a player that can run up and down, and let's say there's a fast break.
Andre Sanders. Is he not the guy he's talking about?
I don't think so, man. Tillemans and Santos are the same type of player. One is younger, one is older. They're the guys that will help us dictate the game, which is something we've been missing for years. But we lost a shin kicker, and we need to get a shin kicker back.
I think it's time for us to cover Liverpool.
Yes.
Jeremy Jacquet, 60 million euros. and we've got Victor Munoz and Ronald. Yes, Ronald.
Ronald.
Are Liverpool rebuilding or defending their position?
Well, you know, a lot of people, when it comes to Liverpool, they talk about who's going to replace Mo Salah. And remember I said to you, the question for Liverpool is not replacing Mo Salah. It's replacing Mo Salah's goals. And looking at that team, I don't think there's a 20 goal per season player there. Gakpo
But
is linked to Tottenham.
Could there be?
but do you
But
think,
he still has a long-term injury. He might come back around January.
do you think they need that? Because I mean, like, look at Arsenal. We didn't win the league with a 20-goal player.
Yeah, but everyone contributed at Arsenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So are you not saying?
Set pieces. Like, can we?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, for Liverpool, what if the whole team contributes, bro? Like
Lina, the whole team.
I think
and also like they have a different manager who, different philosophy, different way of playing. I don't know, but I'm not very confident on Liverpool this season. I'm just saying that as much as they haven't really replaced Salah's goals, they can do it through the team. Like they can spread it out through the
but
team.
who? Now, for me, if you can say, okay, give me players that you think will contribute towards maybe 60 or 70 goals that they need to score this
Liverpool
season.
players.
Yeah.
I must name that group of
That
players.
can contribute to the 70 that is needed.
Yeah. Okay. Alexander Isak.
How many is he bringing?
No, we'll get to the calculations.
Okay.
First, I need the pool, and then I'll just say average.
Yeah.
Isak, TK, Gakpo.
Gakpo is linked to Spurs and it looks like he's leaving. It's close to leaving.
He's going where?
To Spurs.
Tottenham.
Yeah. That is strongly linked to
When I
Spurs right
think
now.
about it, Liverpool is very shaky.
You know what is funny? The reason why one of the reasons why Klopp got tired at Liverpool was the fact of the lack of support. If you look at the players that have been bought by Liverpool during Klopp's time, and something that he has admitted even after leaving Liverpool, that he didn't always get the players that he wanted, in comparison to City. And then a year later, after he leaves, all of a sudden they're starting to buy. So had they bought while Klopp was still there, the right players, even after he has left, those players would have continued to serve the club for at least the next 5 years, regardless of who's the manager.
Yeah.
League predictions?
The juicy part. No. As the defending champion, I need to start.
Okay. Go ahead, defending champions.
Yeah, it's a god of honor, bro. Like I need to start. Like, come on, give me that, But I'll tell you, obviously, number one, Arsenal. I'm gonna give United second place finish. I think United is becoming more and more dangerous. City, and then the number 4, 5. As you know, I'm seeing it as a top 5 because, Arsenal has helped for that 5th position to go Champions League or one. So 4, 5 is going to be Chelsea and Spurs.
Okay. Well, do you want a United answer or you want a pragmatic answer?
A pragmatic answer. Like, be honest, bro. Like,
pragmatic answer, I would say, don't kill me, man. Pragmatic answer, I would say Arsenal are the most complete team in the Premier League right now. And they are favorites to win the league, right? But as a United fan, I am saying United, number 1, number 2, Arsenal, number 3, I would give it to City, number 4, Tottenham or Chelsea. And then number 5 will just be
Tottenham or Chelsea.
Yeah, Tottenham or Chelsea, yeah. And then obviously Liverpool will just have to compete with Aston Villa for the Europa League, yeah.
And that brings us to the end of the episode. From the PSL to the Premier League, the arguments, the performances, and everything in between. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm Khadisha and Smatena with all due respect. From me and the team, until next time, keep the passion.